Every world-class coach knows a secret about challenge calibration that can triple learning speed, almost drastically. They use it to transform ordinary athletes into champions, average students into scholars, and struggling performers into breakthrough machines. But they rarely reveal the actual science behind it. See, and I'm going to tell you what that is today, because here's what's killing your progress. You're coaching yourself wrong. You're either giving yourself challenges that are, too easy, leading to boredom and, ultimate plateau, or challenges that are impossibly hard, leading to overwhelm and, ultimately quitting. Without a coach's eye for perfect calibration, you're destined to spin your wheels indefinitely. So today, I'm going to give you the coach's playbook for challenge calibration, the methodology that elite performance strategists use to engineer rapid improvement with mathematical precision. Garry Kasparov once revealed something that shocked the chess world. When asked about his training regime, he said, "I never play against computers set to maximum difficulty." That's how amateurs train, and that's why they stay amateurs. Instead, Kasparov had his computer calibrated to play at exactly 150 to 200 points above his current rating. Not 500, that would be overwhelmingly high. Not 50 points higher, because that would be too easy and too low. Exactly 150 to 200 points. At this level, Kasparov said, the computer makes moves that stretch my thinking just enough that I can understand the logic, but only if I concentrate completely. I'm forced to find new patterns, but I'm not lost in complexity, that I can't comprehend. This is called challenge calibration at its finest. Kasparov understood that learning in this specific zone, difficult enough to demand growth, but simple enough to allow understanding, was his sweet spot. Adam Gazzaley at UC San Francisco made a breakthrough discovery about the brain under optimal challenge. Using MRI scans, he found that when subjects worked at precisely the right difficulty level, their brains showed increased connectivity between prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus, literally the learning center. But here's the crucial finding. This enhanced connectivity only occurred within a narrow range of challenge. Too easy, and the prefrontal cortex essentially went to sleep. No new neural pathways formed, and nothing too difficult. And the amygdala hijacked the learning process as a result, shutting down higher order thinking. The optimal zone, tasks that required exactly 85% success rate, not 95, not too easy, not 65, not too overwhelming. 85% success means you're succeeding enough to maintain confidence while failing enough to force adaptation. This is the neuroscience of the perfect challenge calibration. So I was watching Alex Honnold, the first person to free solo climb El Capitan. He has a training philosophy that most people find counterintuitive. He doesn't practice on the hardest routes he can barely complete. Instead, he practices on routes that are exactly one grade above his comfort level. He said, if I can consistently climb, 5.12 routes, he said, I practice on 5.12 plus routes until they become automatic. Then I moved to 5.13 routes. I never skip grades because each grade teaches my body something specific that it needs to know before moving to the next level. This is what I call the ladder principle. You don't skip rungs on the ladder. Each one provides essential support for the next. And elite performers understand that sustainable growth happens one perfectly calibrated increment at a time. The Defense Language Institute has cracked the code on rapid language acquisition. They take someone who speaks Mandarin and makes them conversationally fluent in 18 months, faster than any other method. How do they do it? What's the secret? They never overwhelm students with content they can't understand. They use what they call +1 methodology. input that's exactly one level above the student's current comprehension. If a student understands 70% of basic conversations, they're exposed to conversations that they understand 85% of the time. Complex enough to require growth, simple enough to extract meaning. As their comprehension improves, the input complexity increases proportionally. Traditional immersion methods throw students into native level complexity immediately. The result, cognitive overload, frustration, and often failure. The DLI method honors the brain's natural learning algorithm. Challenge plus comprehension equals a breakthrough. I think it was Dr. Devi Shetty, one of India's most renowned cardiac surgeons, performed over 3,000 heart surgeries per year with a success rate higher than most Western hospitals. When asked about his training methodology, he revealed something fascinating. I never learned surgery by watching the most complex operations. I learned by performing thousands of simple operations perfectly, then adding one small complexity at a time. Each new technique was built on the foundation of absolute mastery of the previous level. See, that's insightful. And Dr. Shetty understood that surgical skill isn't about attempting, the hardest procedures. It's about making each level of difficulty automatic before progressing to the next. His progression looked something like this. Master basic procedures until unconscious. Then add arterial repairs while maintaining perfect structure. Add valve work while maintaining perfect arterial repair. Add bypass procedures while maintaining all previous skills. Each level becomes the foundation for the next. This is how elite performers build unshakable competence. Elite coaches look for 4 biological indicators to know their calibrated challenge perfectly. And here are the 4. Marker 1, it's called optimal arousal. Heart rate elevated but not racing. You want what sports scientists call facilitative, they call it facilitative anxiety. Each arousal to enhance performance without triggering stress responses. Elite coaches monitor athletes' heart rate variability to ensure that they're in the optimal rate of arousal. Marker 2, sustained attention. The ability to maintain focus for extended periods without mental fatigue. When challenge is perfectly calibrated, concentration feels effortless. If attention starts wandering or you feel mentally exhausted quickly, the challenge needs to be adjusted. So marker 3, active problem solving. Your brain should be generating new solutions, not recycling old ones. Perfectly calibrated challenges force creative thinking while remaining within your problem-solving capacity. See, marker 4 is called positive stress response. You feel energized rather than depleted after training sessions. This indicates that your nervous system recognizes the challenge as growth promoting rather than ultimately threatening. So here's the 3-second assessment that I teach elite performers to calibrate challenges, in real time. Here's what it looks like. Second 1, engagement check. Are you fully absorbed in the task, or is your mind wandering? Full absorption indicates optimal challenge. Second 2, capacity assessment. Are you operating at roughly 85% of your maximum effort? This is the sweet spot where growth occurs without what I would call system overload. And then second 3 is energy evaluation. Do you feel energized by the process, by the challenge, or are you, drained by it? Optimal challenges create energy because they trigger your brain's reward system. If you can master this 3-second assessment, you'll never waste time on poorly calibrated challenge again. And they'll always be right in your sweet spot. You'll develop the coach's eye for perfect difficulty, the ability to engineer your own rapid improvement with almost scientific precision. So here's a few takeaways that I want you to consider to get a grasp of some of this information. Number one, 85% success rule. Neuroscience needs difficulty. Most high performers get this completely backwards. They think maximum challenge equals maximum growth. You know, when sometimes clients complain about, the pace feeling like it's slow, I remind them, you can go fast now and plateau later, or you can go deliberately now and break through later. Really, the choice is yours, and that's really the timeline. So here's the third takeaway. The biological feedback system, how your body signals the perfect challenge. See, your nervous system is constantly sending you signals about challenge and calibration, but most people don't know how to read them. This is the problem. After working with literally hundreds of high performers in every area, business, sports, performance, you name it, I've identified 4 biological markers that indicate perfect challenge calibration. Elite athletes and executives who master these markers can self-calibrate in real time, adjusting difficulty on the fly to maintain optimal growth conditions. So here's the 4 markers that you need to think about. Number 1, optimal arousal. Heart rate elevated but controlled. You feel energized but you don't feel anxious. Sustained attention. You can maintain focus without forcing it. This is sometimes called flow state or flow state accessibility. Active problem solving. Your brain generates new solutions instead of repeating old patterns. And positive stress response. You feel energized after training, not depleted. So the implementation strategy is this. Start each practice session by checking these 4 markers. If any marker is off, adjust the challenge immediately. If it's too easy, add complexity. Too hard, reduce the variables. This real-time calibration is what allows elite performers to extract maximum growth from every training minute that they enter. See, most people train for hours in poorly calibrated states. My clients train for focused minutes in perfectly calibrated states. The difference in results is always staggering. And here's takeaway number 4, the 3-second recalibration method, elite self-coaching. This is something you can do to self-prime. The difference between elite performers and everyone else isn't talent. It's the ability to coach themselves in real time and do that effectively as well as efficiently. See, I developed this 3-second assessment after studying how world-class coaches calibrate challenges for their athletes. The best coaches can assess and adjust difficulty literally within seconds, keeping their athletes in the optimal learning zone throughout entire training sessions. So here's the first protocol. Protocol second 1, engagement. Am I fully absorbed, mentally wandering? Second 2, is my capacity where it should be? Am I operating at 85% effort without, stress or strain? And then second 3, do I feel energized or drained by the challenge? Set a timer to go off every 20 minutes during focused work. Run the 3-second assessment. If any element is off, make immediate adjustments. This develops what I call calibration intuition, the ability to sense optimal challenge levels automatically. And after 30 days of consistent practice, my clients develop an internal GPS for perfect difficulty. They kind of just feel it. They stop wasting time on poorly calibrated challenges and start engineering their own breakthrough moments with mathematical precision. So the choice is really quite simple. Continue guessing at challenge levels and hoping for improvement, or learn to calibrate challenges like elite coaches do. And watch your learning speed almost triple immediately. If you master this challenge calibration and you master the fundamental skill that underlies all other skills, the ability to engineer your own rapid improvement, you will see quantum leaps in your ability to develop and improve in every single thing that you do. So I hope you got some value out of this. This is Ben Benson for Performance Capability. I look forward to seeing you in the next message. And until then, make sure you follow the 7 stars. I'll see you soon.